Imagine inviting danger into your own home without even realizing it. Tonight, a man thought he was meeting a teenage girl. Instead, he walked straight into a trap he'll never forget. Hidden cameras, a waiting journalist, and justice lurking behind every corner. This is what happens when the truth comes knocking. In the heart of a quiet suburban neighborhood, there sits an ordinary-looking house with a not-so-ordinary mission unfolding behind closed doors. Inside, Chris Hansen, the host of the popular investigative series, prepares for another high-stakes sting operation. His team is set up, hidden cameras are strategically placed, and the trap is set to catch an unsuspecting predator. The target, a man in his early 30s, someone who has been grooming a 14-year-old girl online, believing he is safe, invisible, and free from consequences. What he doesn't know is that tonight, his world is about to unravel. Center of this operation is the decoy, a teenage girl pretending to be 14. She engages in what seems like harmless chatter at first, jokes, shared interests, harmless small talk. But as the conversation moves forward, the man begins crossing lines, sending inappropriate messages and suggesting they meet in person. The decoy, trained for this role, responds with calculated hesitation, gradually luring the man deeper into his web of lies and fantasies. Soon they've arranged a meet-up, a pizza date, where the man believes he'll find a vulnerable teenager eager for his attention. But what the man doesn't know is that each message, each step of the conversation has been carefully monitored, documented and saved, and tonight he is walking into a trap he will not be able to escape. The night falls and the scene is set. The sky darkens as the man pulls up to the house, a large pizza box in hand. He sits in his car for a moment, checking his phone one last time, a brief pause in the tension. The only sound in the car is his breathing. He tells himself it's just pizza, that everything will be fine. But deep down he knows something feels wrong. He steps out of the car, looking around to make sure no one is watching. His nerves are palpable, but he convinces himself it's just a simple visit. After all, what harm can come from delivering a pizza? He walks up the driveway, pizza in hand, and rings the doorbell. There is no answer, not at first, silence. The tension builds. The man calls out the decoy's name, but no one responds. For a moment, he questions if he's at the right house. Is this some kind of joke? Maybe he should leave. But he doesn't. He places the pizza on the kitchen counter and begins to nervously look around. The house is eerily quiet, almost too quiet. A sense of unease settles in, but he brushes it off. He figures the decoy must be upstairs or just nervous. After all, they had been talking for days online, exchanging personal details. As the man stands in the darkened kitchen, he remains unaware that the entire scene is being watched. Chris Hansen and his team, safely tucked away behind a one-way mirror, observe his every move. This is the calm before the storm. And then the silence is broken. From the shadows, the unmistakable voice of Chris Hansen cuts through the tension. "What brings you here tonight?" Chris Hansen asks, his voice calm yet sharp as he steps into the kitchen. The man freezes. His eyes widen, a flash of panic creeping across his face. This is not the scenario he imagined. For a moment, the man is stunned. He tries to maintain composure, muttering that he was just dropping off the pizza. No harm done, he tells himself. He had no intention of meeting anyone, just doing a kind favor. But Chris Hansen is unshaken. With cold precision, he begins to read aloud from the chat logs. The man had shared personal details. He had made inappropriate suggestions. He had planned to meet the decoy alone. And now, all of that is laid bare. Man's excuses fall flat, his facade crumbling as each message is read aloud. He attempts to deflect, to laugh it off, but Chris Hansen doesn't let up. He leans in, his calm yet firm demeanor making it clear that there is no place for lies. "This isn't about pizza, is it?" Chris Hansen asks. The question hangs in the air, thick with accusation. With nowhere left to hide, the man's facade begins to crack. He tries to explain himself, to make excuses for his behavior. Maybe he was just lonely. Maybe he didn't mean anything by it. The usual tired lines. But it's too late for that. Chris Hansen presses harder, confronting him with the overwhelming evidence. The man tries to twist the situation, claiming he was just checking up on a friend, but it's no use. The truth is out in the open, and the weight of it bears down on him like a ton of bricks. "You knew what you were doing," Chris Hansen insists, his voice unyielding. He continues to break down the man's lies piece by piece. The chat logs reveal a disturbing pattern of grooming behavior, explicit messages and promises to meet. Caught in his own web of deceit, the man begins to unravel. His excuses become weaker, his body language increasingly defensive. He looks for an escape, but there is none. The walls close in. His mouth goes dry. He knows he's not leaving this house the same way he came in. Chris Hansen's words echo in his mind. "You made a choice." And now, the consequences are inevitable. Just when it seems the man may try to escape, a sudden shift occurs. Chris Hansen stands back, his voice now calm but final. "You're free to leave." But it's too late for him to believe he can walk out the door. Before the man can even react, the door bursts open. Law enforcement officers rush in, their hands quickly securing him. They handcuff him, read him his rights, and begin the arrest process. A look of complete shock overtakes his face. His bravado is gone, replaced by the cold reality of his situation. As the man is led outside, Chris Hansen takes a moment to address the camera. His message is clear, direct, and chilling. Tonight, another predator has been exposed. The dangers our children face online are real. We must remain vigilant. For those who prey on innocence, justice is watching, and this time there is nowhere to hide. A beat of silence before the final words. In the corner, untouched and forgotten, lies a pizza box, a symbol of one man's downfall, and the truth that couldn't stay hidden.